Alright, so now, like I promised, it's a time for my NHL 22 review on PS5. At first, I gotta say, this is not going to be, the kind of full review, or it's full review, but not, talking about, not like in-depth review, because I have not played Be a Pro mode, franchise mode, Hockey Ultimate Team. I haven't played those, so I can't, talk about those personally, what I think about them, what they are. I know a little bit what they are and what's they're all about. But yeah, I haven't played those. I have played just exhibition matches, couple of NHL 3s. I have played World of Shell because I really like that mode. In fact, that's pretty much maybe going to be the only online mode that I will be continuing to play. I really enjoy World of Shell. So you just create your own skater or goalie. You go to online matches, 3 versus 3 or 6 versus 6. So that's a kind of realistic full matches. So I've been playing those 6 versus 6 matches. I also played those mostly when I participated in that open technical beta. And yeah, on that beta I actually started to really love that World of Shell, and I think I was pretty good. I got almost 1 point per game, and I played as a defenseman, left defense. I like to play defense, but then again I was an offensive defenseman, so I like to also play offense, not just defense. But yeah, kind of two-way. But yeah, I feel mostly it's more natural for me to be a defenseman more. But yeah, you just control, of course, one player in World of Shell, so it's very different than you just play an exhibition match where you control all players. So in that sense, it's already very, very different. Feels very, very different. So yeah. But yeah, let's get to the game itself, and this is more like going to be a review of the the core game, just more about just the core game, the gameplay and everything. And yeah, at first I would like to just point out that in my opinion, this is definitely better than recent 5 NHL games or something. But yeah, definitely better than let's just compare it to last year's NHL 21. 22 is definitely better. Of course, moving to the Frostbite engine has changed something, but not that much actually that I thought about. I mean, I'm not disappointed by the fact that the moving to the new game engine has not made that big changes. Of course, we are talking about the yearly, you know, still a yearly, you know, updates. Uh, NHL game comes every year, like FIFA, and yeah, I mean, you can't expect a major changes to the series in just 1 year. They like had to, they would have to make a, you know, uh, a break, you know, not releasing it, uh, not releasing it yearly, but just take a break on 1 year and next year do it. But I know it's not really not an option for EA. They just have to make this yearly, so I don't blame them, of course. But yeah, moving to the new game engine has, of course, made some changes to the gameplay. Like, I would say the gameplay itself, the speed of the gameplay is slower, a little bit more realistic in that way, which I really like. Also, mm, the passing that has been talked a lot about before the game's release and also on the technical beta. I think the passing has really improved, you know, being much more realistic. You don't always get the pass straight to your stick. It's much more realistic. Uh, you have a, you know, more challenge to, you know, get the pass from other player and also be the passer yourself. It's much harder to deliver your pass to the other player, especially the longer the passes are, the harder they are for the other player to get hold on. So yeah, the passing is definitely, it's one of the biggest changes for the better, definitely. Also the you know, tackling, hitting, open ice hits, just the physical play is uh, quite much improved also. You know, I would say the hits look much more painful and realistic, which is of course that's just a good thing. Also, of course, this year the new, one of the biggest new things are the X factors. You know, the signature personal abilities for the superstars, and that really, you know, that gives for those superstar much more personality as of, you know, as of players than before, because now they, you know, differentiate from each other. Like if someone has a, you know, good passing tape to tape or something, or just a, you know, uh, one timer specialist like Ovechkin, or just you know, uh, like very uh, fast skaters like Connor McDavid, uh, and yeah, like fast wrist shots like David Pasternak, uh, and etc. etc. So X Factors are really nice addition, and you know, just makes those players much more personality, and yeah, like I said, they differentiate from each other much more. So yeah, those X factors are really nice, and of course they are expanded all over the different game modes. But yeah, like I said on my previous NHL videos, I've said that I'm much more actually like and always been more offline NHL gamer. So I play more offline modes like just exhibition matches, NHL threes, tournaments. Of course, season is my most important um, game mode. Playoffs. Sometimes just jumping right to the playoffs if I don't feel like playing the whole regular season before playoffs. The whole stuff, whole thing. So yeah, and about the graphics, well, the graphics don't look actually that much better, like maybe than I expected them. Like, of course, there are like reflections and just uh, clothing textures and some animations are much smoother than on EA Ignite engine. So of course it's definitely better that they moved to the well, new to the NHL series, but FIFAs have been on Frostbite for some years now. But yeah, new to the NHL series, finally. It was about time. I honestly would have been very mad if they would still stick to the Ignite engine. I would be like, what the fuck? Ignite engine on next gen consoles, or should I say now current gen, like PS5? Okay. Um, but people like to still say next gen. I mean, yeah, it's current now, and I think PS4s are like older generation, but whatever you like to call it. So yeah, graphics are of course somewhat better, like better animation and yeah, like I said, textures and lighting and reflections and yeah, of course, and on PS5 4K uh, resolution. But I was not sure if already NHL 21 on PS4 Pro was on 4K. I don't know. It was, of course, PS4 Pro enhanced, but I don't know how it was enhanced. Did it really support 4K already? I don't know. Maybe. But of course, now we have on PS5, of course, native 4K resolution, and of course 60 FPS. No shit. um, yeah, so yeah, graphics are better, definitely, but not as much of a huge leap than I personally expected, to be honest. It looks very good, but again, it's just an NHL games. You only get to see the arenas, players' eyes. Uh, you know, NHL games have never been like a graphical showcase games because they they can't really feast with graphical brilliance like those action adventure games that can do whatever they like with the graphics because they are fantasy games. They are not representing the real stuff like NHL. So of course NHL games have never been like graphical showcases like many other fantasy games. Uh, so and next talking about a little bit about the sounds. Uh, I have enabled my 3D sound through my TV speakers that came with the latest big uh, system update on PS5, and I would say it definitely sounds better. I have compared the non 3D sound with NHL 22 and the new 3D sound through TV speakers. And I would say I like more the 3D enabled. It really kind of, all the sounds in those matches are much more authentic. Uh, they sound much more realistic with 3D. Definitely sounds very good, but I have not played with my Pulse 3D headset still, but of course I'm going to test those out and see how the 3D sounds, how it sounds when it comes directly to your ears. So um, like I mentioned, things that have improved quite much are of course X Factor skills and features for superstars, uh, like tackling and hitting, uh, just the physical game has really improved, passing, and of course like just uh, scoring goals. They look much more, realistic. They don't look janky sometimes. The animations could sometimes be very janky and look very unrealistic in previous NHL games, but now there are still a little bit of that jankiness in those weird animations when scoring a goal or anything else, but they are definitely, there are less those janky moments with the animations here, which is of course an improvement itself. Um, and what else really talk about? Passing, tackling, shooting, scoring goals. Um, yeah, I mean the just the visual presentation, like all the um, menus, and they are different this time. Menus are much different than before, and I actually really much like these new menus. They are much clearer than before. There are like categories. These are online game modes, the list of it. These are offline game modes, list of it. And then there are like more category where all the other modes and options and stuff like that are. And also there are uh, recommended game modes that I don't think, I'm not sure if you can change those, because there are three recommended game modes that always been the same, like they don't change. They are always those same three. And there's also the last played uh, mode you have played, so you can just quickly choose that if you like to. Just if you have played like season mode or World of Shell last time, you can just pick it up quickly and you don't have to go through the other menus or the sub menus. Yeah, so, and also it's the same with once in a match, the scoring bars on the bottom of the screen are the same like last year. But I really liked those. It was a nice addition last year, and I'm glad that it continues here. The scoring bars at the bottom, they are really nice. And yeah, of course, if a superstar with X Factor ability is either scoring a goal or just being assist for the goal maker, you get this special camera cut to the those X Factor camera cuts that look very nice. Whether the X Factor player is has assisted to the goal or scoring a goal himself. So those camera cuts are really nice, but and also you get to see like the X Factor ability also on that replay, even if it's tape to tape or one timer, wrist shot, whatever. Make it snappy, was it called? So yeah, not really much else to talk about, here. Like overall, this is not so much of an improvement like I maybe thought it would be, but definitely better game, more realistic, much less, jankiness in animations, or just I haven't really discovered any bugs so far, in this game. So overall, it improves here and there, in some categories a little bit more, and in some little less, and some things are just unchanged. But yeah, I mean, that's not a negative thing, because if I say something is unchanged, if it was already good before, then why change it for the better? Well, of course, it's always welcome to change it for the better, but you can't really expect an improvements on all aspects of the game in just 1 year. That is just a fact. But here I would say there are changes, enough changes to really make this game a quite much better than last year. Yeah, I would just, that is my like my verdict of the game. Pretty much in short, the whole reviews that yeah, and I'm just mumbling a little bit right now, but I always do these reviews. I don't really make a script. I don't really practice these. I don't just write the text and just read it or something. That would be just stupid. Like, these reviews are just they are just spontaneously coming out of my mind like right now. I have not prepared uh, like in any way. This is just how I do these game reviews, and sometimes they are really hard, to make because there might be some brain freezes here and there to just figure out, okay, what's the next thing I'm going to talk about the game, and etc. etc. But yeah, this will be the way I will be, doing reviews in the future also. So, but yeah, overall, very good game. Definitely better than last year or that year before that. So this was definitely not an case of, was it NHL 15, which I think was the move and first PS4 NHL game that got much critiques, like that it was so bare-boned. They left some game modes out that was in previous game on PS3. So fortunately, I can say that this is not the case here this time. They still have all the game modes that were in the previous games. They haven't cut any content. Let me just be clear for those who worry about that. They have not cut any content at all, just added more stuff to the game, and still like were able to, move to the whole new game engine, still having all the necessary game modes and features. That is really, I really appreciate that, because I myself was a little bit worried that they may have had to cut some content, because of the time restraints or deadline, that they didn't maybe had enough time for all these changes in 1 year, but they actually did manage to do it. So 2 thumbs up for EA this year, and then next I would, or in the end now the review is pretty much wrapping up, and I will give this game, of course this is very early review because I have only played this game for a couple of days now, but quite intensely. I would give this game a 8.5 out of 10. And yeah, I really like to also mention, like, I think I would have give it 9 out of 10, but half points, I removed half points because there has been some lost connection issues with World of Shell. Like in my first day when I played, I got like 2 lost connections. It's not much, it's definitely less than was in the technical beta. There was much more lost connections, but still they are very annoying that you can't finish the online match on World of Shell or any other. You can get the lost connections in any other online modes. So that is really irritating, and I know it's not the fault of my broadband. It's not my internet that's the cause. It's EA, I think, because my internet connection is really stable and fast enough that it should really be good enough and stable enough for online games, whatever I like to play online. So NHL included. So I hope they will fix these lost connection issues with the patches and just improve their servers. But yeah, 8.5 out of 10. I'm definitely mostly very happy for this game, that it turned out to be this good. Not much to really criticize about. Of course, a little bit things like I said, I hoped for maybe a bigger improvement on some other aspects, categories of the game. So those are like very, very minor disappointments. I wouldn't even say disappointments, but really minor critiques about the game, but mostly very positive everything else. So very nice game. Buy it if you like. Don't hesitate. Don't be worried about that they have cut content and or anything else. This is better than last year's NHL 21, in my opinion, definitely. So don't miss it if you really enjoy NHL games. You can quite safely just buy this new, either for PS4 or PS5, or if you're Xbox player, Xbox One or Xbox Series consoles. Alright, so that was my review of NHL 22 for PS5, and I'll see you in the next video, whatever it is. Bye.